What is going on, you guys? It is the Mellow Pilot back here with another fly along video. This is going to be episode number 3, I believe. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong in the title, but we will see. We are flying the Cessna 172 and we are in flight gear. We will be doing a relatively short flight today, just a single traffic pattern around, and I will be fast forwarding once I get up to 1,200 feet, and then I will see you guys on the approach. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video by getting into the cockpit. Awesome, let's go ahead and get this thing started. So first off, we're going to go ahead and turn on the battery, and then that will enable us to turn on the beacon light. Now that we have that on, we can go ahead and start our engine procedure. We'll go ahead and lean it out, or we'll do 100% rich. And then now that we have that, we'll go ahead and prime our gas. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that should get us going. We'll go ahead and make sure this is on both and add just a little bit of throttle. So now that we have that good, we're going to go ahead and press S to start. And she is good to go. We're going to go ahead and turn that alternator on. Avionics power on. We'll turn the beacon light on. That's already on. We'll turn the taxi light off. We'll keep the landing lights off. All that stuff looks just good. Actually, we'll put the taxi lights on just because we'll be taxiing here shortly. So now that we got the engine started up and everything looks good to go, I'm going to go ahead and start our taxi out to runway 03, and I will see you guys when we get there. Alright, so we have made it to the hold short line of runway 03 right. So we are going to go ahead and set 1 notch of flaps just to give us a little help on lifting out of here. And then we are also going to go ahead, just double check over everything. Altimeter set to 0. Everything's looking pretty solid. So without further ado, let's go ahead and line up on runway 03. Alright, so we are getting lined up here, and we are all good to go. So we're going to go ahead and throttle all the way up and wait until we get to about 50 knots to rotate. Alright, and we are up in the air. We're just going to go ahead and maintain about 60 and climb up to about 700 and make our first left-hand turn. Awesome, so we're going to start our left-hand turn. We're going to still climb and maintain about 60 through the climb. And then we'll start rounding off once we start get to 800 to 900 feet. We'll start rounding off. Awesome, so we're going to round off and let off the throttle just a little bit. Cool, and I'm gonna fast forward the video from here, so I will see you guys on the approach. Alright, so we are starting our turnaround onto final. I'm going to try to decrease our speed just a little bit. And then once our speed gets into those white brackets, we'll go ahead and dump a set of flaps. Awesome, so we got the runway in sight. Go ahead and make our way down. Bring in those first sets of flaps. And then we will go ahead and make our way down to the runway. This is the first time for me flying this aircraft in a little bit, so please bear with me. I am still learning as well, so I won't do everything by the book super perfect, but it's all about having fun, and that's what recording videos really does for me in these flight simulators. I was playing these flight simulators so much, and it's fun for me, but it was getting a little boring, and making videos definitely livens it up a little bit, and I definitely have a pretty big passion for aviation, and I don't want to let that burn out. So here we are on final on runway 3 right, 03 right, and we're looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and let down the throttle just a little bit more, and we'll trim it out just a little bit and try to stay centered all at the same time. But we are looking pretty good here so far. We'll go ahead and decrease throttle a little bit more. Then once we get right about here, we're going to go ahead and now drop the throttle all the way back to idle and go ahead and glide in and slowly pull up and ride it all the way down to the ground. Oops, got a little bounce. A little bounce, but that was good enough for me. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the next right or left hand exit off the runway onto the taxiway. Go ahead and slow down just a little bit and make our way on the taxiway so we could take a look at that landing from an outside view and see how it looked. We did have a little bit of bounce in there, so I'm already expecting that. Wasn't too bad. That approach was pretty good. I kind of butcher those a lot of the time. We're still learning for sure. So now that we are clear off the runway, I'm going to go ahead and set our parking brake and take a look at the replay. Alright guys, so here we are on short and final. I'm going to go ahead and unpause the replay and we'll take a look. I'm going to do the chase view. I was trying to do the tower view, but the zoom was not working. So we'll go ahead and play with the cards that we were dealt and do it from this view. So we got the runway right there. I'm going to go ahead and set the angle right about here just so we could see just about how bad that bounce was. So we're over the threshold, just rounding off, and there was our first touch, and yeah, just a little bounce, but that was not too bad. Let's take another look at that. Yeah, that wasn't that bad for me. Well, there you go. You have it. That was our little traffic roundabout, left-hand traffic roundabout in a Cessna 172, the 1984 FlightGear model. Thank you for flying with me today. If you enjoyed yourself at all, please go ahead and leave a like, and go ahead, maybe if you're feeling talkative, maybe leave a comment, and please subscribe down below. I will be posting videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so be prepared for much more content to come out. I will be sticking to that every other day upload schedule for as long as I could do it for. This is the first time for me doing something like this. We'll test it out and see how it goes. Thanks for watching this episode of our fly along, and you guys have a beautiful rest of your Saturday evening.